Hello, Nick here. Got a new radio. New to me anyway. It's not that one. It's that one. Sony CRF-160. And just got it in today from eBay. And it's sweet. The guy must have cleaned it up because I didn't have to touch this radio. I literally didn't even, you know me, usually I'm taking knobs off, scrubbing them with a toothbrush, all kinds of stuff. I did not put one finger on this radio. It was turnkey, ready to go up to my nitty-picky standards. And it's working great. I'm very, very, very happy with it. I did a video outside on my patio on the two radios on their whips. And I've already done that one, but I'm gonna publish it. I'll put it up after I put this one up, because this is the one that's gonna talk in little detail about the controls and stuff like that. So, and then the one outside was kind of short and brief because it was right at dusk and it's still way over, it's like still high 90s here in Dallas, even after the sun goes down. So, and it was hot, humid, and buggy and nasty, and I'm like, screw this shit. Get a couple of band scans done and get the hell back in the house. But anyway, so, I can't even reach the radios from here, so I'm gonna have to scoot in and we're only gonna be able to look at one radio at a time, but you'll see I don't have a Stridesburg. I have an Alpha Delta switch. And so I might have to be flipping that. If I forget to flip it when I go to the other radio, you guys yell and remind me, okay? And then on the backs of both of these radios, they have multiple terminals for external antennas going to short wave or medium wave or long wave or FM or whatever, right? So they got terminals up the butt. Anyway, so I've got a little short jumper with a BNC with an adapter, a BNC adapter that goes to two alligator clips. And I put the two alligator clips on the back, one for each radio. Just bought, it's a cool little jumper, works great on these types of radios, got it on Amazon. All right, and it works awesome. I clip it, sometimes I'll just clip it to the whip. If they've got the terminals on the back of the radio, you can just clip it to the terminal. Anyway, both of these have that. And I'll just be flipping the switch, the Alpha Delta, between the two radios. And I've done video on this before. I've owned this radio for like 25 years. I bought it off the original owner, who was my boss at the time. It was just sitting on a shelf in his office. I said, hey, dude, you want to sell it? He's like, yeah, sure. So I don't remember, I gave him $125, maybe $150 for it. And it's like brand new, literally, still is, because I don't use it much. It's got all the stuff, you know, all these slide out things with the little pamphlets with the different pages and I mean, everything, it's all there. And right now, both radios are on battery power because that's what I had them on outside. So that means that the lights are not automatically on. That means I have to hit the light switch, the momentary switch, to get the lights to come on, because that's a power saving feature that they did to save your battery power. The Zenith lights up like a freaking Christmas tree on Times Square, okay? It is, man, you can't miss it. This one over here, not so much. All the lights work, just doesn't light up that much. I have a feeling this one might be older than this one, but I can't guarantee that for sure. All right. Let's just cut to the chase, zoom in, and start pushing buttons. Let me scoot up here, get situated. All right, so we're gonna cut off the speaker up here. Nice, beautiful speaker. And we're gonna focus on this down here. All right. There's a band switch on the side, just like on the Zenith. You rotate it, and then this top shortwave band up here, they call it shortwave 2 through 9, I think. And then it also gives you a resettable scale. You can move this, and you see the hash marks? So the thick hash mark is for the number, each one, and then this thin hash mark is for halfway between. And it works absolutely perfect. So like right now, we are on 4.840. So 4.850 is the thin hash mark, and we're just to the right of it. So that's the first signal, and then we're gonna go up, and then we'll do the same thing with the other radio, and then do some other stuff too. But anyway, got a signal strength meter. Here's your calibrator. If you're plugged into AC power, this will light up green, and it does work. Here's your momentary switch for the light. You can see that it's there, just not super bright. FM, AFC, if we even get to FM. Here's your power switch. Volume, tone control, I leave it centered. That seems to sound best. Here's selectivity. They call it normal and sharp, which is basically wide and narrow. Then here's your band selectors. FM tuning on its own tuner, and then everyone else. This switch here is the BFO. Pretty dang cool. So the BFO control is the large one in the back. You can twist it. The one in the front, it's like it's an RF gain control that takes it out of AGC and puts it into manual gain. And then that's also how you turn the BFO on. So it activates the BFO and puts the radio into manual gain all at the same time. And we'll see if we can't do something with that. Anyway.
We've been talking for days. What's going on? Why hasn't Putin
wide
reacted?
Bandwidth.
Does he not know what to do? Are they incapable of chasing the Ukrainians out of their country? Or is it the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario meaning what they're going to do is cut off the head of the snake.
Narrow.
They're going to go much deeper than just driving the Ukrainian troops out of Russia. They're going to go much deeper.
That's volume.
Attacking Ukraine. They're going to go to the countries that
I like it about halfway.
Ukraine to attack and invade Russia. That's what I think it's coming soon. And everyone
Let's go up.
to brace for it.
Well, just so you can hear that the other one works. So remember now, I got to throw the... Oh, guess what? The Alpha Delta is on this radio. It wasn't even on this radio. All right, let me throw the switch. Sorry. See, I'm an idiot, but you guys forgot to remind me.
We wake up tomorrow.
Watch the meter.
Go. That's the Russian ambassador to the USA.
So basically,
it
was basically acting as a short wire antenna. The wire going from the radio, probably terminating at the delta switch.
This is the one I was talking about from yesterday.
This thing's very sensitive on its whip with nothing, no assistance.
The instruction he gave his cabinet. A doctor
listen to this.
English subtitles.
The enemy tried to attack the nuclear power plant.
I mean, this thing is beautiful.
The IAEA has been informed.
All right, let's throw the switch back. Go to the Zenith. All right, the Zenith is much harder to read the dial because it's more crammed together. Watch what happens when I light the Zenith up. Bam! Oh, you want to see your map? Bam! Pow! All right.
We will be in touch on this 24/7.
Meter pegged, almost.
And respond promptly to any issues that may emerge.
That was the announcement for going to war.
Yes.
Get your departments.
BFO, click it on, and then tune the BFO. Manual gain down here. Fully counterclockwise, clicks off into the AGC mode. Click it off, and you're in manual, and then you roll it up.
Now we just showed you
Tone.
Reuters headline. Antonov says Ambassador to U.S. says Putin has
right about in the middle
action for the incursion.
All right, let's come back over here because this is the main radio. This is what we're talking about today. This is my new baby over here. All right, let's tune this bitch up.
This one, Doc. So President Vladimir Putin has decided on how to respond to Kiev's incursion into Russia's Kursk region.
So 4.840. Next signal will be WWV at 5. See it?
Listen to that. That's according to
Sacrifice.
Ooh, we're getting a little bleed over.
Worship the planet ahead.
We are.
The living God.
What's up with that?
And I remind them, God will not be moved.
How do I turn the RF down? There is no RF. It's already on. Well, it's on. No, if I try to adjust the RF, it's in conjunction with the BFO. Interesting. No attenuation.
Junior highs and elementary.
That's the station. 5085 is bleeding into 5.0.
Coordinated universal time.
All right. Let's see if. Oh, before we leave, let's just turn the antenna off. All right, so I turned the Alpha Delta over to the other radio, but obviously we're still getting a signal. The bleed over went away. We can still hear WWV. Interesting. All right, let's see how the Zenith handles that mess.
Not a single one had a story about what's going on in Russia and Ukraine and how we're on this virtual age of war.
4.840.
Now, Vladimir Putin says everyone responsible.
$2 hours, 27 minutes. Coordinated universal time.
All right, no bleed over here. The next signal is 5010. Very close, especially on this Zenith. You barely breathe on this dial. 5010. 5025.
My finances will not get my vote.
That's 85.
Kamala Harris is a threat to my faith.
That's 5050. Obviously, that's 5085. But man, it's like all four of those signals are like this far apart. It's really hard to get that. I wish this thing had an option to spread it apart. I mean, let's go check that out over here. This is the first, I've been playing with this radio for several hours, and this is the first time I've heard bleed through. Interesting. Five oh 10. 5025. 5050 is next. Should be by that thin line. Yep. Pretty weak, but it's there. It was very weak on the Zenith. So we're still on the money. The next one is very powerful, 5085.
The music that we have planned and the kind of programs that are going to be rather different than most of what we call Christian radio today.
I mean, this signal is blasting in.
By the difference. And
So keep it.
Obviously, the Zenith handled it much better. This one's letting it, you know, with the, well, you know, I don't know. I don't think Walbrook was making antennas in 1968 when they designed this radio. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go further up in the band.
In the not too distant future, I'm reaching out to friends of mine.
Which we have to change. Get up into the, what do you call it? 49 meter band. So, that's 5.8. So let's re-zero. See our scale here? Let's re-zero it. Can you see it? See how it moves? All right. Next signal should be 5.850, the thin mark. Right on. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's flip this back to the Zenith and do 5.8.
To Ponder with Bob Bierman.
I think this is 5.850. There's 5.8. Very hard to tune this radio. Very hard. Sometimes you got to go past it. Even if you're going super slow, it won't pick it up. And then you go back and it'll get it. I don't know, maybe the tuning capacitor is dirty or something. I mean, I'm sure this radio has never been serviced. Like I said, I bought it from the original owner, and I've owned it for 25 years. So, you know, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. This is 5.850. Flip the antenna.
And look down at that lower light. And
5.890, I think.
Stay up there. That flight wouldn't be there. So I use those things of her. Beautiful.
5.9 doesn't seem to be anything. 5.935, always very powerful. 5.950.
Ancient Word Radio.
You can still hear 5.935 a little bit because it's so strong.
When people came up with their own ideas, look at talk to them about it.
But I don't know how to turn the RF. I don't see an attenuation. I don't see because this RF gain here works in conjunction with the BFO. Let's try it again.
You listen on the shortwave radio.
In a dark place. in terms of knowledge and understanding, and took us outside of the holy place into community. We are now.
I would love to know how you listen. And I. A lot of organizations, programs, they want you to send them an email, and they're going to harvest your email address.
That's our high priest, Christ.
I respect your email address.
Yeah, she's bleeding over.
One of the things that drives me crazy because of my time.
$5,980, but I can still hear that woman from $5,935. All right, we're gonna try an experiment here. All right, stand by. We're gonna take the Wellbrook off the back. All right, we're gonna extend this antenna, the whip, and I'm gonna clip a little. I've just got this, it's just a simple wire that I clip onto the end of the whip. All right, let's see what happens. Getting anything.
God is with us.
There's 5,935.
God is with us. God is with us. We still have a mission to
So I just pushed the antenna all the way down inside the case. I'm going to clip the Wellbrook back on.
At some point, I'd like to put together some educational material for people, parents and grandparents that want to homeschool. Just a thought. So feel free to keep in contact with me. For mailing address, you can always use the first name, snail mail. This post office.
470. If you were looking it up. Strength, power, power of voice.
P.O. Box 510, Virginia.
She's bleeding in. I can still hear her.
Regular run-of-the-mill folks, like you and I. It's a political trick of pretending.
All right, so I've moved the filter out to normal.
The British Broadcasting Company wrote,
I cannot hear her now.
Don't study the word
There
of
she
God.
is.
EV Magazine wrote, elitist politicians.
Interesting.
To be everyday people is the cringiest.
That's 5,980. That's not the woman from 5,935. There's the carrier for 6 kilohertz for Havana that's not on the air. There's Radio Marti at 6030. 6070 Toronto. So, very interesting. I changed this filter from sharp to normal. Maybe there's something wrong with the sharp filter on this thing. Maybe it needs to be cleaned or something like that. Because you see it got rid of the bleed through. So while we're here, let's just quickly do the 185 test. I don't think it's going to be very good because we don't have a narrow filter, but let's try it. That's 105, I think. What's 6160 is Reverend Freak Show. That's 180, I think. There's 185. $185. $180. All right. So apparently this, I put it on narrow and I was able to discern between 180 and 185. If you've been watching any of my videos over the last week or two, you know I've been just wearing these two signals out, 180 and 185 in the evening here. And so very interesting. It's just that those super powerful signals when you put them on the Wellbrook, apparently this radio has a hard time handling that. All right, let's see how this does. So let me flip the switch back to the, what is this, Kenwood? No, Zenith.
Betaalbare communicatieapparatuur kopen. Of het nu gaat om antennes, cd-radio's, scanners,
where are we? 5, 9.
Kijk snel op delay.nl.
Start laughing. I know y'all seen that. All up on her.
980.
KBC Radio.
Playing the oldies. It's a big D playback of the
5, 9.
Mountains are going to be.
Oh, that's 5935.
The work of God coming in for some people, even in this. And I ask you please to pray for those.
All right. 5935. 5900. 5850.
To be able to sit, to
935.
God is in control. The only one who brings confusion.
And Frank shares something with me that he wants
950.
you put together something you put on today's, and boy, it is so spot on.
Narrow filter. So the Zenith is handling that Wellbrook strength, the super strong signal better. Interesting. All right, let's see if we can get that weak 6070. I think that's Radio Marti 6030. Yeah, that's 6070. The dial accuracy is not perfect on this, and you can't adjust it either. 105. I think that's 160 Reverend Freak Show. $180 maybe. No, that was $185. We'll come backwards. $185. Notice I'm on narrow filter over here. Now 180 will be literally 25 thousandths of an inch movement of this dial. Yeah, good luck. That should be it. Maybe. That's it. Music. Talk. $105. $160. It's so hard to get any kind of band spread out of this thing. Dang, so hard. But it seems to be able to, you know, hold its water, so to speak. In other words, it's not letting shit bleed through like this one was. But this was only bleeding through on the super powerful ones, and only when it was on narrow filter. When I moved it to a wide filter, it did not bleed through. So let's try that again, just to prove my point. Now, we got to change the antenna.
Be on your knees asking the Lord to lead, and I've said
that's
to you many times,
$935.
to fall on my face or to fall down in front of you, well, it could be very humiliating. It has been over the years. And the flip side is, it's God who picks me up. God never said, I'm going to put somebody
there
here
it is,
that's
$935.
perfect. God wasn't perfect. He's perfect.
5.9, 850, 800.
In Hebrew, every weight and sin.
Might be 890.
Build. I'm not telling you to get out by human.
There's the super strong woman, 935.
Things I've referenced and say,
Run industries fail to keep up with the demands of the market.
950 on normal filter. No noticeable bleed through.
An egalitarian society.
This is 5980. Very weak. 6, 6030, 50. Canada, Toronto. That's 105. Got to readjust our calibration. $160, Reverend Freak Show. There's a signal. There's the other one. We got them both. Got them both, baby. Oh, man, my back is sore from being hunched over. Where's my ICOM 9500? Holy crap. Man. That is very kind of disappointing that there's no way to attenuate or change the RF gain in normal AM mode. I don't have a manual unless I'm missing something here. But this it says RF gain, but that's only for the BFO. You heard it. It wouldn't work in AM. Anyway, all right. What are we? Whoa, 35 minutes? Oh my God! There's probably one guy left watching us laughing at me. Let's try some FM, just because.
Brock Purdy throws a ball that is picked by the Raiders. Raiders run it back. Purdy comes in to make. And they have cut to commercial. I'm hoping Brock Purdy's okay. I mean, I don't know that he's not. I'm not saying he is, neither, but I hope he's okay. He went in and made the tackle, and he jumped in, led with his left shoulder. I am hoping Brock Purdy is okay. We'll have
credit. This is worse than the Braves back in the day.
105.3.
Because our pitching.
Surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here.
It's easier to tune when AFC's off because it locks onto the previous signal.
That's one of my other tips.
Harris really does have a potential vulnerability.
90.1 WNPR, something like that.
Very progressive primary is not one that any.
Oh gosh, I don't even have the antenna up. It's stuck in the case. There we go. What a difference that makes.
If the election becomes about that.
I've seen you.
He's tried things that I'm like I love doing that, right? Like,
so remember, this is sports. This is when we started on you could hear music at the same time. It's because they didn't have the antenna up.
I mean, it's so much fun. Like,
anyway, all right. I'm tired of playing with this thing. I need to go sit down, relax a little bit, and I don't know, maybe we'll come back tomorrow and do another video of this compared to something else. Very interesting that I found out about, about how it does its this damn light gets on my nerves too. Let's do, before we cancel out of here, let's do, oh, shortwave.
Coordinated Universal Time.
All right, 10.1, 10.05 is the thin line.
wind 250 degrees, visibility 15 miles, full cloud at 1,200, few clouds at 2,700.
Trenton Military, 10051.
Scattered, feeling 6,600 broken, temperature 18, viewpoint 15. This is Gander Radio.
Oh, Gander Radio, sorry. Yeah, both of these radios are really hard to tune sideband on.
At 0000 until the 25th at 0600. Wind 180
it's working.
degrees.
Happy.
Visibility more than 6
Interesting
miles.
thing about this one, the bands. So 10051 is the only utility I can get because it's not full 100% full coverage. 6.754 can't get it. 5.505 can't get it. 13.264 can't get it. 13.270 can't get it. 15.034 maybe. Where would that be? Way down here. Let's try it. Not getting it, but it might not be available at 15 megahertz at almost 10 p.m. So I'm not going to slag it for that. I might not be able to get it in any radio. But anyway, so my point I was trying to make is I don't have 100% coverage. So I like the only utility I can get is this 15034, and that's probably earlier in the day, and 10051. Can't get any of the other ones. The radio won't cover them. It only covers the shortwave listening bands as they were known in the 1960s and 70s. Interesting. So, but anyway, no, this thing sounds good. FM sounds great. The AM broadcast, no worries. Trust me, this thing works great. The only thing I found out that I didn't know was that super strong 5935 bled through when it was on the Wellbrook, and this couldn't handle it. But it did handle it when I opened the filter up to the normal filter. So I don't know what that's telling me about the sharp filter. Anyway, all right, we're at 43 minutes. That's enough of this crap. All right, thanks for hanging out.